from the iceberg with a grand polar, coming to you over the Ethernet and into your ears.
Hi Chantal, welcome to Bulldogs Radio and from the iceberg. And it's a great pleasure to have someone from sunny South Africa instead of the rest of the world. Chantal, if you could just say hello and tell us about yourself, how you got into music and why symphonic rock in South Africa.
Okay, well, thank you so much for inviting me on here. And hi, everyone. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you. So how did I get into music? I've been in music my whole life. Ever since I can remember, I've been singing in choirs, I've been playing music. I begged my parents at the age of 10. They eventually relented and let me do music lessons. That's how I learned how to play the piano. And that continued. I wanted to actually study music as a subject, but they weren't too keen on me going down the whole music career path, which is understandable. So I ended up going down the business path. I studied maths and science, and I still did the music as an extramural, and it continued to play a big part of my life. So I was in other bands and things over the years and choirs. And then I started a corporate training company, which I ran for 10 years. And one day I was sitting down, you have these reflective moments. And I asked myself the question, can you see yourself doing this for the rest of your life? And the answer was a definite no. And the thought of actually continuing in the corporate world, there's nothing wrong with it, but I felt it was soul destroying for me. And so I sat down with my husband one evening and I said to him, look, this is how I feel. This is what I would like to do. I would like to pursue what I've always actually wanted to do, which is music, and to attempt to make a career out of it. And instead of saying, well, I think we need to get you some professional help, he was very calm and said, well, I can see, how you would want this, I can see how much it means to you. And so let's see how we can make this work. And that was the start. That was in, the end of 2016. And we're now 2022. So, yeah. So then it was me kind of finding my way. I did record an album prior to the one that I've just released. Eye of the Storm is my first symphonic metal album. And I only discovered the symphonic metal a few years ago. And it was like, when I found it, it was like, my God, what I've been missing my whole life, when, the metal. It's like I found that part of me which had always been missing. That's what it felt like, like I'm home now, this is it. So, yeah, it has been a very long journey to get to where I am today, but it's been a great journey.
Who are your major influences? And I've got a feeling I know who you're going to say, but I won't say it. But
here we go. So definitely within Temptation, Nightwish, Epica, Evanescence. Yeah, I would say those are the predominant ones, but I listen to many other bands as well, which I thoroughly enjoy. Yeah.
And now, how did you get to find the musicians to play on your album? Because I don't recognize any of them.
Correct. Well, funny story how the whole album came about, because I started writing the songs for the album in 2019, is when I kind of started. And then the whole theme of the album came about after I had written the first few songs. I was looking at them and thinking, oh, but there is a theme here. And then everything else that I wrote afterwards was with that theme in mind, which is the eye of the storm. And then 2020 came around, and we all know what happened. And I thought, oh, God, okay, well, there goes my music career. It hasn't even kind of got off the ground yet, you know. I thought, well, if I can't do music, you know, what am I going to do with my life? You know, who knows how long this thing is going to go on? Where's it going to be, a year, 2 years, 3 years? Where are we going? So I actually, I'm very passionate about my health and cooking. I'm vegan. So I started actually writing a recipe book, you know, as a side thing during at the start of 2020 when the whole hard lockdown came about. But because music is in my blood, I just continued to write the music for the album, you know, and I thought, well, it'll get published one day, it'll get recorded, you know, and it'll be released. And by the end of 2020, I had the full album. Thought, okay, well, that's fine. I'm just going to carry on writing my book and, you know, see what happens, you know, with Zoo was still all in lockdowns and there was so much uncertainty. And then 2021 came around and I was meditating one evening, which I do most evenings actually. And this thought popped into my head. Hello, Kitty. while I was meditating, and the thought was, the release date for your album is the 22nd of February, 2022. And I thought, interesting, you know, and I just carried on meditating. And then after the meditation, kind of got up and I went and sat down in front of my PC and I thought, that message, you know, where it came from, the universe, okay, let me just trust the universe. And I thought, okay, well, if the release date is then, and I work backwards, all the things that have to happen in order for that to take place, I need to actually start recording pretty soon, which had not even occurred to me. I was kind of thinking, you know, 2, 3, 4 years down the line. So anyway, I sent a message off to my music producer who is in Ladysmith, Western Cape, which is sort of the Karoo semi-desert area. It's very beautiful. And I asked him for a quote and to record the full album. And in fact, I did a bit more than a full album. I recorded 16 tracks in one go. And he came back with a quote and I looked at it and I thought, you know, if I don't do this now, I'm never going to get another opportunity again. So I had an investment policy, which I'd been saving for the last 10 years, and I cashed that in and it was enough to pay for the album. So all those kind of synchronicities that just happened, and it was all in the space of literally 24 hours that I suddenly went from recording, thinking I would record in 2 or 3, 4 years time. So like, hell, I'm recording in like 3 months time, you know. And of course we were still in lockdown. So it wasn't like we could get together or anything like that. I wrote the songs on my own. I wasn't working with other musicians. And, but thank goodness for modern technology. You know, I was able to record the piano part here at home, which I then emailed through to my music producer, and everything else was layered on top of that. And he is an exceptional guitarist. Joe Ellis is his name, and he laid the guitar tracks on all of the songs on the album. And then his assistant engineer, Christian, is an exceptional drummer as well. I mean, they would be session musicians as well, and laid awesome drum tracks. So when all of the instrumental side was done, I then traveled up to Ladysmith for 4 days to do the vocals. So I recorded the 16 tracks over 4 days, and I did all the backing vocals as well.
That's a lot of vocals in 4 days.
Tell me about it. Wow, it was seriously intense. I'm not gonna lie.
Because I know from experience that's a lot of vocals, and your voice must have taken a beating.
Yeah, no, that was hectic. And then I left on the Thursday. I decided I didn't want to stay there that night. I just wanted to get home now because I finished the recording. And so I packed up everything, got in the car, and it's a really long drive back. It's about 4.5 hours. And if it's, the weather was really bad, and it was night, and it was pouring down with rain, and it was mountain roads, and I don't do well in the dark, pouring rain and mountain roads and big heavy trucks coming past. And by the time I got home on the Thursday night, which was close to 9 o'clock, I just climbed into bed, and I didn't get out of bed again until literally the Saturday morning. Okay, I can face the world again. But yeah, you don't realize how much it takes out of you, that kind of singing, which I only realized after the fact, because you know, your adrenaline is high.
Yeah, it's a very ambitious thing to do, that amount of tracks in that short period of time. Yeah. I've recorded a couple of artists, and yeah, no, I'd never even attempt that.
Yeah.
So,
well,
especially
we kind of worked out to get to everything that I needed. I recorded all of what you hear on the CD, the album, was done in 3 takes, and then the backing vocals for each one done after that.
Yeah,
it was just,
and it's the backing vocals that takes the time.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, because it's a great sounding album.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you like it.
From what I've heard.
Yeah.
So what does the future hold?
Well, I don't know where this is all going. I'm very open to anything. I just, this has kind of all happened very quickly, actually. The album has only been out for a month now. So I'm very new. People don't know who I am. They're still discovering me. So I would love to eventually do live shows. I think that would be pretty epic. But we'll see. We'll see, baby steps.
Yeah, trust the universe and just put it out there and see where it goes.
Exactly, that's it. Yeah. I think when things are meant to happen, they will happen. It's when you try to force something, that it doesn't work so well. Yeah, kind of go with the flow.
Yeah, it's very difficult, but fortunately with today's technology and with all the YouTubes, the Spotifys, and all the different internet stations like ours, it does make life a lot easier,
Yes.
Whereas before, in the good old days, you had a CD and you literally have to be walking around trying to sell it from the boot of your car. So
that's it.
Yeah,
the world has changed. Certainly the music industry.
Because incidentally, I still look after a girl. Her name's Tony Rowland. She actually stays in Huncliffe in Pringle Bay.
Okay.
I've been producing her for about the last 10 years. So
wow.
We've released a couple of albums, and again, we did a lot of it as well. The studios are in Cape Town that we record, but our guitarist is actually in Los Angeles. So we do exactly the same thing. We just do remote remote recordings, push the tracks backwards and forwards, and yeah, so it can be done. But yeah, vocals have to be done in studios. So
that's it. Yeah, you can't get around that.
can't get around that one. What I like to do with everyone,
Yes.
and it's a fun little thing, and it only takes a minute, but it's a very cool thing to put out on social media because people get to know you very quickly.
Yeah.
And it's called
My favorite test.
It's a little pop quiz. There are 10 questions.
Okay. Okay.
So the first thing that comes into your mind, you don't have to justify it. So are you ready?
Yes. Oh, I have so many. How do I choose that? My favorite food, a hamburger, vegan hamburger. Let me clarify. Favorite city, Cape Town, without a doubt. I love it. Favorite band, oh, that's a tough one. Within Temptation. That was very hard. Favorite color, blue. Favorite movie. Well, I have lots of favorites. I love The Matrix. Favorite song. Oh, there's one called, it makes me quite emotional every time I hear it. It's called Wonderful Life by Alter Bridge. And I would have to say, at the moment, that's my favorite. Favorite animal, kitty cat. Favorite actor, Keanu Reeves or Jet Li, I'm not sure. They're kind of on a par. Favorite drink, that's easy, pina colada. Favorite radio station, I'm going to have to go with Bulldogs Radio here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have had people actually say another station.
Oh my word.
And thank you for not saying Johnny Depp as being your favorite actor, because nearly everyone says Johnny Depp. It's quite hysterical.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Quite hysterical. Yeah, it's a pity you're not doing any live shows, but I suppose it's not going to be easy.
No, not really.
At the moment.
And you know, I want the live show to be representative of the real sound that's on the album. Which means also it's got a very big orchestral sound to it as well. So that's kind of tricky. And then, of course, you know, you need to have the fans as well, you know, to come to these shows. So, you know, it's two ends of the spectrum here. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a lovely weekend.